we can introduce our honored guests.
First, Mr. Gordon Cressy, 2014 Golden Achievement Award recipient, and Miss Joanne Campbell.
And the Honourable Jane Philpott, Minister of Health, MP Markham Stouffville.
His Worship Mayor Dave Barrow, Town of Richmond Hill.
Mr. J. Philip Parapalli, Director of Education, York Region District School Board, and his guest, Mr. Billy Pang, Trustee, York Region District School Board.
Mr. Eric Tong, Honorary Chair, Yihong Board of Governors, and Miss Olivia Chow, former MP, Trinity Spadina.
Mr. Thomas Yu, Honorary Chair, Yihong Board of Governors, and Mrs. Marianne Yu.
Her Worship Mayor Bonnie Crombie, City of Mississauga, and Mr. Brian Crombie.
Miss Betsy Chung, Chief Marketing Officer, BMO Financial Group, and Mr. Jonathan Soon Cheong.
Mr. Tam Fung, Vice President, Tridel Corporation, and Mrs. Miranda Fung.
Mr. Sherabing, Consul General of the People's Republic of China in Toronto, and Madame Zhao Jun.
The Honourable John McCallum, MP, Markham Thornhill, Proposed Ambassador to China, and Miss Nancy McCallum.
His Worship Mayor John Tory, City of Toronto, Honorary Chair, Yihong Board of Governors, and Miss Corrine Wong, Board Chair, Yihong Center.
Dr. Joseph Wong, Founder and Chair, Yihong Foundation, and Miss Christine Wong.
The Right Honourable Charles Joseph Clark, former Prime Minister of Canada, recipient, Global Humanitarian and Leadership Award, and Miss Maureen McTeer.
Mr. Scott Delaney, Co-Chair, Dragon Ball 2017, Director, Yihong Foundation Board, and Miss Sunny Delaney Clark.
Mr. Peter Wilkinson, Senior Vice President, Manulife Financial, and member, Yihong Board of Governors, and his daughter, Miss Sarah Wilkinson.
Miss Helen Ching Kishner, Dealer Principal, President and CEO of DFC Auto Group, Audi Uptown, Downtown Porsche, member Yihong Board of Governors, and Dr. Peter Kushner, member Yihong Board of Governors.
Miss Hazel McCallion, recipient 2006 Golden Achievement Award and Honorary Chair, Yihong Board of Governors, Chancellor, Sheridan College, and her son, Mr. Peter McCallion.
Mr. Stephen Hsu, President, Yihong Community Wellness Foundation, and Miss Susan Ng, Past Chair, Yihong Center.
Mr. Patrick Brown, Leader of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party, Official Opposition, MPP, Cinco.
Senator Victor O. and Miss Rosabella Chu.
Mr. Nick Choi, Deputy Director, Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office, Toronto.
Miss Pauline Tong, Founding President, Yihong Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our national anthem.
I would like to invite the 84-year-old bass baritone soloist, Mr. Roy Chang, to lead us to sing O Canada. Mr. Chang is a dedicated volunteer and a leading team member of Yihong's team in fundraising for the Alberta wildlife victims.
In all thy
Wow.
Wow.
Mr. Chang, thank you so much. Can we hear it again for Mr. Chang? Thank you very much, and please be seated. Before you leave, Mr. Chang, though, we're going to have to get your phone number because I think Mayor Tory will agree. We're going to need you to come and sing at Toronto City Council to open our meetings up. And if you think that was impressive, that was just the opening act for a whole evening of entertainment. I would like to gratefully acknowledge that the Dragon Ball tonight is taking place on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, the Haudenosaunee, and the Huron-Wendat, and many other unique Aboriginal people. And now let's enjoy our opening performance.
First up, we have the Lion Dance by the Sunny Tank Performance Troupe, to be followed by the Little Pair Dance Company's Wa Ethnic Folk Dance from the Yunnan province of China. Enjoy, everybody. Celebrate our unity in diversity, Canada's most treasured multicultural mosaic. Now, after dinner, there's going to be a special aerial performance by Anna Amy Ho, and Anna's going to tell you her extraordinary story during that performance. And we've also got Michael Chuflo, Romulo Delgado, and Salvatore Gambino. They're going to be gracing our stage. They are 3 tenors, not to be mistaken for the Canadian tenors, okay? Don't call them that. They might not sing for us. They are the 3 tenors, and they've come together for the Dragon Ball to bring us some unforgettable...
of our closest friends. Well, honey, I've kept my promise. We're here tonight with over 1,000 guests and over 200 volunteers to help us.
Wow, that is truly incredible. Now, this is very important, so if the gentlemen in the house should listen up, because I care about all the men in this room, and I want to make sure that you are not in any danger. So I think it is my duty to let the men know that it's almost Valentine's Day. Did you guys know that? I see some looks of panic on your faces. Yes, it's almost Valentine's Day, so...
That I serve along with Kenny Wan as this year's Dragon Ball chair. As the first speaker this evening's festivities, I'll keep my remarks brief. To start, I would like to welcome, with special acknowledgement, a few members from our head tables. Please hold applause to the end. But number 1 is Canada's 16th Prime Minister and tonight's guest of honor and recipient of the Global Humanitarian and Leadership Award, the Right Honourable Joe Clark and his wife, Miss Maureen McTeer. The Consul General of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Xie Beng, with Madam Zhao Jun, Canada's proposed ambassador to China, the Honourable John McCallum and Ms. Nancy Lim. And if you will allow me, my very lovely mother, Mrs. Sunny Delaney Clark. I further welcome other esteemed dignitaries and distinguished guests here tonight. We are thrilled to have you here with us and wish you all the best for a prosperous and vibrant Year of the Rooster. Now, looking at the clock, and as per Stephen's orders, which we were given, we're trying to stay somewhat on schedule. So knowing such, I'm a little torn as to what topics to talk about. Perhaps something as simple as, I think that'll be a little tough, so alternatively, let's highlight a couple important and relevant matters for consideration for today. And these are directly relevant and very meaningful for Yi Hong. Responsibility and desire to serve. What do we do here? Seniors are living longer and choosing to serve with their sense of selflessness, experience, knowledge, and perspective. We think that is the focal point of Yi Hong by enhancing and embracing the dignity and their futures brings knowledge and experience back to all of us, and this is a primary mandate of Yi Hong and something we're exceptionally proud of. Lastly, Yi Hong is unique. It's unique in the world, it's unique in Canada. It's something that's scalable, and as we think about where Yi Hong will be going in the future, it's all of you that are here tonight supporting this cause that will be a big part of this story as we look forward to future years and future strategies. Thank you for all being here tonight and for listening to my words, Shishi.
Thank you, Scott. Honorable guests and friends, as co-chair of Dragon Ball's organizing committee, it's my great honor to welcome you to the 28th Annual Dragon Ball. Tonight, we celebrate the start of the Year of Rooster, a year set to be oriented towards progress, honor, and integrity, all characteristics associated with Yi Hong. I would like to express my deepest appreciations for all the sponsors and guests. Many of you have returned year to year to support Yi Hong. And for those who are the first time to Yi Hong Dragon Ball tonight, I welcome you back, and I'm sure you will be back next year too. The continuity of your support is crucial to ensure Yihong's long-term success. I am proud to have supported Yihong for many years, and I look forward to support Yihong, this wonderful organization, for many years to come. Today, more people are living longer lives. We need more health, and more health means more money. So while we all enjoy the wonderful food and entertainment tonight, let's remember that we are here to raise the essential funds necessary to keep our seniors and living dignified, fulfilling an independent life. Apart from Yihong meaning helping the senior, I would like to share with you Yihong Yi means long life, and Hong means good health. So I hereby wishing all of you here having long life and good health. This year is the year of Roaster, and the pronunciation of Roaster is Ji. So I use Chinese word here. 祝大家鸡年行大运，身体健康，三季勃勃，大吉大利。
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott and Kenny. Our next guest is the person who started it all. He turned a dream into reality over 3 decades ago. Please welcome the founder and chair of the Yihong Foundation, Dr. Joseph Wong.
Could I have your attention for a moment, please? John told me that he would go back on Monday morning to ask them to fix the sound system here so that you could hear better and we could hear better as well. Good evening, the Right Honorable Joe Clark and Maureen, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to extend a big welcome to all of you attending Dragon Ball tonight, and thank you for supporting Yihong and our seniors. I wish all of you a healthy, happy, and fulfilling year of the Rooster. It was 30 years ago this month that I started the dream of building a home that would allow us to tend to the care of Chinese Canadian seniors in an environment that respects their dignity, culture, and language. Our dedicated team of volunteers and staff colleagues have built Yihong into a caring and warm place for thousands of seniors, Canada's largest not-for-profit geriatric care center, offering language and culture-specific services not only to the Chinese, but also to South Asian, Filipino, and Japanese seniors. Time and again, Accreditation Canada delivered to Yihong another honor in 2016, confirming Yihong an exemplary model for our peers across the country. I want to take this opportunity to thank our boards, management, and staff in both the center and the foundation, and of course our volunteers, to continue the tradition of our fine services to the seniors in need. Besides the compliments and accolades for such an authoritative organization like Accreditation Canada, I have read hundreds and thousands of letters written to our team from seniors and their families how pleased and appreciative they have been on our services. Our biannual surveys also confirm the high spirit and satisfaction of our frontline staff. The client-centered philosophy just permeates through to everyone in the organization. Like everyone else, we are facing increasing demands for services in an aging society with dwindling resources. The painfully long wait for our nursing homes propel us to be more innovative in our approach to caring for seniors, In the most recent strategic plan that we just concluded 2 weeks ago, we are on the path to explore new ways of delivering services and searching for more resources to allow us to help those who have been waiting at our doorsteps for years. There are over 200 social workers in our system help to expand our services to outside of the Yihong centers. We offer community-based services to tens of thousands of seniors living in their own homes, in the 4 Yihong centers and other satellite offices and church basements throughout GTA. We offer social and recreational services, medical, rehab, and specialty clinics, and senior daycare and half-day programs, in addition to Meals on Wheels and many other home support services. More and more families are now choosing to take care of seniors at home. We offer many unique services to help those seniors, like seminars in chronic disease management and an extensive caregiver education program. All of this are only possible through the partnership, working with different levels of governments and our supporters' generous contributions. The support from our business community is greatly needed and appreciated. In a chaotic world that we are living in, I'm sure all of us feel that we are so blessed to be in a country in Canada. I always count my blessings to have the opportunities to study here and to live in a country full of compassion and generosity. Here in this country, I learned to give back. I learned to be generous in spirit and in action. For the almost half a century I have been in Canada, I have come across so many people that I learned from, one of whom is the one that we are honoring here tonight, the Right Honorable Joe Clark. Many of us in this room know him or know of him well. He does not need any introduction. I just want to relate 2 occasions that I have the fortune to work with him on issues of common interest. In mid-1979, during the height of the Vietnamese Boat People crisis, Howard Edelman and I separately formed organizations called Operation Lifeline and Action Committee for Refugees from Southeast Asia. And soon afterwards, we combined forces, working together to bring more boat people to Canada and to help them resettle here. Mr. Clark, who was the Prime Minister at that time, announced a government-private sector sponsorship matching program, challenging Canadians to open their doors to help settle the fleeing boat people. I was very skeptical of the scheme, thinking that Canadians are generous, but not that generous to take up the physical and emotional challenge of taking care of people who are from thousands of miles away, from a different culture and speak a different language, in addition to financial liability. I remember talking to a Group Mail reporter, criticizing the federal government plan as a cop-out. I was so glad that I was totally wrong. Canadians rose to the challenge, literally opened their homes and their hearts, welcoming those newcomers to their homes in big cities, small towns and villages, and in northern communities. Within 2 years, the matching sponsorship program was so successful that over 80,000 refugees found their new homes here in Canada. And this country became the country that admitted the most Southeast Asian boat people in the world on a per capita basis. This is a result of Mr. Clark's vision, compassion, leadership, and courage, received well by the Canadian public, creating a legendary story that we all love and proud of. In 1992, in order to bring Quebec and our native communities to be signatories in the Patriotic Constitution, the then Minister of Constitutional Affairs, Joe Clark, with vision and generosity of spirit, reached an agreement with all 10 provinces called Charlottetown Accord. I, along with June Colwood and 4 other distinguished Canadians, was appointed one of the 6 national co-chairs to help promote the Charlottetown Accord to Canadians in a referendum call for October 1992. I traveled to places across Canada and to northern communities, learning about the diversity of our population, learning about their aspirations and different perspectives on the issues. Although we failed by a small margin in the referendum, I really thought the Accord was a great document of vision, understanding, accommodation, compassion, generosity, and a respect for this country's history and realities. This agreement failed to win the consensus of Canadians, not because of the substance of the Accord, but because of the existing political atmosphere at that time. Mr. Clark contributes his entire life to public service in Canada and still continuing his humanitarian journey in the Syrian refugee crisis and on the world stage, bringing to the world the core values that are embraced by Canadians: compassion, democracy, freedom, peace, and security. Before we make the formal presentation to the Right Honourable Joe Clark, I would like to invite to join me on stage my very good friend and Honorary Chair of the Board of Governors of Yi Hong, someone who served Dragon Ball as Organizing Chair and Honorary Chair for a few years, a man with vision, integrity, leadership, and courage, His Worship Mayor John Tory of Toronto. Please help me to welcome him.
Well, Dr. Wong and fellow elected representatives and distinguished guests, one and all. First of all, Dr. Wong, thank you for that kind introduction, and it is a pleasure and an honor for me to be here at the Dragon Ball once again. And I think given that it's a special day, it's not just the day of the Dragon Ball, but it's also the Lunar New Year. I'll start off at the risk of embarrassing myself by saying Kong Hai Fat Choi, Chok Mang Na Moi, Sa Hai Manai Badesio. And how did I do? That means about a 4 out of 10. I also, in acknowledging the elected representatives here, want to specifically mention I stand, as I do all the time, speaking on behalf of my colleagues on City Council. You've, of course, seen Councillor Mike Layton up here tonight, also Councillor Joe Cressy, Councillor Paul Ainsley, Deputy Mayor Denzel Menon Wong, Councillor Norm Kelly, and Councillor Chin Lee. And I mention their names because there were so many of them here. We had a short meeting just before dinner, and I have an announcement to make, and that is that we, of course, own this building and own Exhibition Place. And in light of recent events, we took the decision, since it was all we could do, to impose a modest toll that will be charged to you on the way out of this building tonight. And the funds will go to build public transit. It will only be $2, and it won't really hurt compared to what you've laid out to support Yi Hong, but I just wanted you to know so you wouldn't be surprised when you left. It is a privilege for me to be up here tonight to say a few words in honor of the Right Honourable Joe Clark, who is very properly being honoured with the Global Humanitarian and Leadership Award. I was thinking back on how long I had had the privilege of knowing Joe Clark, and I guess this must make us both feel a bit old, but the number is about 45 years. And I would say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it is no accident that he retired from public life as one of the most trusted and respected politicians in Canada, according to the public opinion polls of the day. And my guess is if you took more up-to-date polls today, you would find Joe Clark held in the same high regard. But fortunately for him, he doesn't have to put up with those polls anymore. But if you think about it for a moment, with all of the polarization and division that we see, unfortunately, in every corner of the world, including close to home, Joe Clark remains today